What an embarrassment. This is why Angel Reese and the dump divers in the WNBA, this is why they don't get the respect they think they deserve. This is why they don't get the recognition they think they're entitled to. For years, NBA players have been brutally criticized by fans in the mainstream media for their diva-like behavior. NBA players, they have been called soft, they have been accused of being entitled, they have been labeled as whiners and complainers. But there is a huge difference between the entitlement in the NBA and the false sense of entitlement in the WNBA dump. NBA players, they have the luxury of being entitled because they have leverage. They generate billions and billions of dollars in this thing called profit, which is a foreign concept in the WNBA. Matter of fact, in the WNBA, profit is better known as Kathy Englebert's cat. She keeps calling it to her, here profit, and the damn thing always runs in the opposite direction. You know, if there is one thing that I cannot stand, it's a whiner. I can't stand complainers. I can't stand people who would rather sit around and bitch about something than actually doing something about it. And I really hate it when people are whining and complaining about something that doesn't seem to exist. It's merely a figment of their imagination. We used to call people who did this Democrats. Today, we call them woke welfare collectors in the WNBA. You know, one thing that the WNBA shares in common with their subsidizers in the NBA, both of these leagues, they can't seem to get the hell out of their own way. If you're one of the dozens of fans of pretend basketball, right now should be a time of celebration. Wednesday night, the WNBA achieved the impossible. Game 2 between the Phoenix Masculines and the Minnesota Lynxers in the first round of the Chase for the Golden Toilet, 1.2 million viewers on ESPN. Of course, they were handed most of those viewers from Caitlin Clark, but who cares? Doesn't matter how you got there. What matters is a game in the dump not involving Caitlin Clark was able to eclipse 1 million viewers. But instead of celebrating that accomplishment, instead of celebrating the fact that you achieved what was previously impossible, the players in the WNBA, they would rather whine and complain. They would rather play the role of the ultimate victim. And they are being led by one of the fakest victims of them all, Angel Reese. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. I appreciate you guys and all your thoughts and prayers yesterday. Wife is still in the hospital right now. I am hoping that they're going to let me take her home this afternoon. I have got a serious backlog of topics that I need to share with you guys. My brain is running on fumes right now, so I'm just going with topics that don't require too much thinking and brain power for the time being until we can get back to a normal schedule and routine. Hopefully, we can get back to that normal schedule tomorrow. All right, let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, the makers of some of the best beef jerky that I have ever tasted personally, my good friends at Fluffernoggin. I'm not a big snacker, but if there's one time of the year where I do snack a little bit, it's during football season. One of my favorite snacks to eat while I'm watching NFL Red Zone on Sunday afternoons is beef jerky. Problem is, a lot of beef jerky on the market, it tastes like you're eating a flat tire. Good news is, I no longer have that problem because I started buying gourmet craft beef jerky from Fluffernoggin. Now, you're probably thinking, what the hell is a Fluffernoggin? Fluffernoggin is gourmet beef jerky that is made with 100% organic brisket right here in the USA. You don't have to worry about consuming foreign cows. These cows are homegrown. Each recipe from Fluffernoggin is handcrafted with the perfect amount of seasoning. It's the first beef jerky that I have ever tasted that literally melts in your mouth. No bullshit. I mean, look how tender it is. It literally just comes apart and melts in your mouth. Fluffernoggin comes in a variety of flavors: mango habanero, Korean barbecue. They even have a flavor called Carolina Reaper if you're looking for some serious heat. Or if you like me, you'll go with the original style or this mango habanero that I just tasted. Fluffernoggin is running a special right now where you can get 5 bags for $50 and free shipping. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL at checkout and get your first 5 bags of Fluffernoggin today. Last night, Angel Reese decided to get on Twitter to plead with the lonely men and sugar daddies that follow her for their sympathy. I guess the villainous Angel saw the fake sympathy that other WNBA players were receiving from their pretend friends in the mainstream media. I guess she saw Alyssa Thomas, good old Tommy. I guess she saw Tommy crying about mythical racism Wednesday night and becoming somewhat of a household name in the process. So, like the jealous victim that she is, Angel Reese, she decided to take that spotlight from Alyssa Thomas and put it directly on herself. Angel Reese wanted her lonely male followers to know, "I've never had the benefit of privilege. The day I was born, the white privilege angel passed directly over my house to give her blessings of privilege to the white girl next door." Obviously, Angel Reese has privilege. Matter of fact, if you were born in America, you are privileged. I know 90% of the players in the WNBA don't see it that way. I know they think they are living through the struggle because their minimum wage salaries combined with Cam Harris's gift of inflation has them living paycheck to paycheck. But if you were born in America, you were born into privilege. If you don't believe me, go ask people who were born in the People's Republic of California. Angel Reese continued her plea for sympathy by complaining about her previously requested role as the ultimate villain. Check it out for yourself. "I will always use my platform to speak against mythical racism, even if it makes me the villain." Correct me if I'm wrong here. Didn't Angel Reese proudly accept the role of the ultimate villain earlier this season? I thought I remembered a press conference where Angel Reese claimed to be proud to be the bad guy. I remember it so vividly because it was another example in the WNBA of a woman trying to play the role of a man. But as I was thinking about it this morning, I thought I could be wrong. Or to borrow a phrase from my good friend George Bush, dib ya? I thought I might be strategically misremembering. So I dug through my video archives and imagine my surprise. Imagine my surprise when I found this clip of Angel Reese from June 4th of this year bragging about her role as the ultimate villain. Watch it for yourself.
People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on.
Angel Reese had no problem being the villain when she was benefiting from it. She had no problem being the villain when she was being praised by sugar daddies and lonely men on social media. But as soon as the WNBA receives a hint of criticism, Angel Reese no longer wants to be the villain. Let me tell you what I think's going on right now in the WNBA. For starters, I think the jealousy of Caitlin Clark has become so rampant. Jealous dump divers, they are actively trying to push Caitlin Clark out of the league. Anyone who criticizes the WNBA, they are labeled as a Caitlin Clark fan, when the reality is, you don't have to be a fan of Caitlin Clark to criticize the WNBA. All you got to do is watch the product and you will quickly come to the realization that the WNBA sucks. Like I told you guys before the season, the mainstream attention that Caitlin Clark brings to the WNBA, it was ultimately going to backfire on the league. How many times have I said, the WNBA is not ready for prime time. They're not ready on the court, and they are damn sure not ready off the court. For decades, WNBA players have been able to escape mainstream criticism because no one was watching their shitty product. This season, Their incompetence has been on full display. Their affinity for missed layups, their inability to dribble the ball through their legs, missed uncontested free throws followed by the airball dunk. The entire country has witnessed what we have been saying on this channel for years now. The WNBA product, it is garbage. You know, when leagues like the XFL get criticized, when the quality of play in the NFL or the NBA gets criticized, you don't see NFL players whining to the media. You don't see XFL players complaining about their lack of privilege. They take the criticism like men. You would think it would be the same in the WNBA. The reason we are seeing so many WNBA players lashing out, the reason we are seeing so many WNBA players victimizing themselves is because WNBA players, they truly believe they are above being criticized. The false sense of entitlement, it is so rampant in this league. WNBA players believe that you should not be allowed to criticize them. Anytime the WNBA is criticized, the first thing they do is charge you with mythical racism or mythical misogyny. If the charges don't stick, they try to silence you. And you don't have to take my word for it. KC always comes with the proof. Yesterday, Bob Griner was speaking to the media. Now, I have been somewhat complimentary of Bob Griner this season because she was one of very few in the WNBA who refused to capitalize on the jealousy of Caitlin Clark. Now, I look like a damn fool. I should have been following my own rule, which is you never, ever, ever praise the WNBA. Yesterday, Bob Griner made me look foolish as she jumped aboard the Bruce caboose to lecture fans about mythical racism. What is Bob's solution for this created problem? Silence fans on social media. Watch it for yourself.
I mean, there's definitely things that you can do on social media. I do it on my page where you can, limit some of the things that are seen. You can put in keywords that, when somebody puts in a comment that should not be on the page, because it doesn't reflect what we stand for, what we are as a league, but it's just all up and down all up and down the W's page. Fans that come to games and they want to show out in the wrong way, they don't need to be in there. They deserve to be here and play and not have to worry about racial and just sexist comments.
I happen to agree with Bob Griner. Going forward, the WNBA should censor their social media. They should limit what people can say. They should implement filters that censor keywords like missed layups or criticism or masculine, beard. The WNBA sucks. They should remove all of that terminology from their social media pages. Also, people who are given free tickets to WNBA games and they attend thinking that they're seeing a comedy show, those fans should not be allowed in the arena. If you are not a serious fan of pretend basketball, you should be banned from attending games. I agree 100% with Bob Griner. I want the WNBA to implement these changes today, because you know what would happen? Their impressions on social media would disappear. Arenas would return to being empty. More importantly, the WNBA would fall back into the shadows and we could possibly see our dreams come true. We could wake up one morning and the WNBA would cease to exist. Give me your thoughts on this. Angel Reese humiliates herself on social media again. Bob Griner boards the Bruce caboose and wants the WNBA to silence people on social media. Is there anything even remotely appealing about this league? Why can't WNBA players get the hell out of their own way? They are finally being given the chance they think they deserve, and all they're doing is showing people why we have been ignoring them for decades. I wish Adam Silver would let me be NBA commissioner for a day. Hell, I don't even need a full day. Just give me an hour. The only decision I would make is shutting down this dump. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys later.